Welcome, Year 8. We're having a look at how to put the Mamma Mia melody into our Soundtrap Mamma Mia mixed up. Now, my Soundtrap will look a little different because I don't want to give you all the answers. I'm just going to be putting the melody into a blank project. Okay, but for you guys, you'll have a mostly completed version already set up with the other layers already in place, and you're just placing your melody over the top. Regardless, it will still work for me. So, the first thing we need to consider when we're looking at this is that we need to understand how the rhythm and the notes work before we put it into Soundtrap. Okay? So, this first step for me is going to be taking you through the rhythm of this piece. Think back to Staying Alive. Our first step was to figure out the rhythm in French time names, get really confident at saying that rhythm. Then we were able to clap it or play it. And then I got you to put it into Soundtrap and figure out the notes. I think that's going to be a really good approach to take when we're having a look at this as well. So let's have a look at this music. The rhythm is actually probably a little less complicated than Staying Alive this time. The difference is you'll see some tied notes, which means these notes we add them together and we don't play the second one, we'll only play the first one, okay? And we just hold it through the value of both of them combined, okay? So, see if you can come along with me. Remember, the crotchets are going to be tars. If we see two quavers together, we call them tartes. See if you can come with me. I'm going to say it through slowly. See if you can say it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And ta, 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 te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, tefi, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, te. Ta, 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 te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Ta, 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 te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Ta, ta, te, te, ta, te, ta, ta. Ta, te, ta, te. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Ta, ta, te, te, ta, te, ta, ta. Ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. Okay, and that's where we actually end up. So right about here, we're going to stop, okay? And that's actually where the end of our little arrangement will go to. Okay. Well done if you got through that with all the correct rhythms. A couple of tricky spots. Firstly, just remembering that we're tying through those notes if you didn't quite catch on to that. Second thing is, if you look at bars like this is quite tricky. We've got a crotchet, and I'm not exactly sure I like the way this is written. Usually I would write this as two quavers that are tied together, just like they've done here, so that we could group each beat. So each of these comes on a te. We've got a te, then te fe, yeah, so te, tefi, ta, and finally on a ta. When all of these te beats are accented, we call that syncopation, okay? So there's a lot of syncopation in this, especially in the pre-chorus here. We're seeing a bit more of it here. Te, 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 and it happens quite a lot. So have a look out for that. Otherwise, though, it's mostly just quavers and crotchets, or tars and tartes, which is really good. Easy for us to learn. Once we've got that rhythm, and you've said it a couple times, go through it again, see if you can clap it, and you feel confident with it. The next thing we need to do is look at the notes. Now, for many of you, you might already understand what the notes are, and are able to go through that. If that's the case, I would urge you maybe just to skip this part of the video. However, if you're feeling a bit less confident with reading notes, I'm just going to walk you through my process and what you might be thinking about, as well as what these mean. So let's start here. Our first note. Now, we can see that this note is on a line. That's really important to know. It's not on a line within our staff or our 5 lines here. It's below that. So let's remember how we remember the lines on the staff. Every good boy deserves Ferraris, or whatever F word you want to say. And then we're going down. If you can see, the pattern was with every good boy deserves Ferraris. We're skipping a note each time. E, F, G, G, A, B, B, C, D, D, E, F. We need to skip back the other way now. So we're going E, D, C for that first line, and then C, B, A. So this note is going to be A. What I would recommend now, if you're going through this process as slowly as I am right now, I would recommend downloading and saving the image and actually using the preview tool to write what the notes are in. Okay? You can do that by downloading it, opening in preview, and then using the markup tool and clicking on a text box and putting it underneath, like here. That's an option for you. Now, you would have just seen then that our second note is D. Why is it D? Well, if we're thinking about every good boy deserves fruit, the note just below E, because this one's on a space, we're not going to skip, just below E, or backwards in the alphabet by 1, is D. Always remember, if we're going up on music, we're going forwards in the alphabet. If we're going down, we're going backwards. So E, A, D. Now this note, just below D, backwards 1 in the alphabet, is C. However, you will see here over near our treble clef, we have these 2 sharps. These sharps are what we call a key signature, and they tell us that whenever we see these 2 notes, they're going to be sharp throughout the entire piece. The 2 notes here are F, every good boy deserves fruit, and C, F-A-C-E, face. Okay, so F and C, every F and C will be sharp. We just have a C, so that means it's going to be a C sharp. Okay, so we're getting these notes in. We're seeing this note here. Have we seen that before? Yeah, it's in the exact same place as this one, so it's D. Up 1, E, every good boy deserves fruit. That's the first line. And then F. Is that going to be F sharp? Absolutely it is, because it's in our key signature. Okay, so A, D, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. And I think you can do the rest. Okay, that's the process we need to go through. If you're taking this slowly, that's okay. Just make sure that you write them as you go so you don't forget. Once you feel like you have a solid understanding of that, it's time to refer to our keyboard. Now, again, for some of you, you're already familiar with the piano, so this isn't going to be a problem. If not, I provided this diagram. Here's A, okay? So we can find it. We can always find C next to the group of 2 and then count backwards. So there's A. So we need the notes A, D, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Now, as you might notice, we've got C sharps and F sharps. Here's C. To make something sharp, we go 1 semitone up, or often up to the black keys on a piano, okay? So we're going from C to C sharp and F to F sharp. Well, how does that translate in Soundtrap? How am I going to put that in? Well, let's have a look. I'm going to open up a brand new melody track. Now, there's lots of instruments you could use for the melody. Right for now, I'm going to actually use a lead guitar, like this one. Rock mountain top lead. Perfect. Now we need to find the note A. Okay, so we found C. It's next to the group of 2, and it says C4. If we count down 2, we're at A. Now it's telling me that I can press N to play this note. Perfect. Now, for some of you, you might have MIDI keyboards and can plug them into your computer and do it that way. For the rest of us, if you're working at home or you don't have access to these, you might need to just do it manually by using your keyboard on the computer. So we can click A, and then we can figure out where D is. There's C, so that has to be D. Oh, it's the full stop. So I'm going, then I've got C sharp. Now Q and 3. So I've got to figure out how to play this now. Now, if you can't get it as fast as the original, which is at 136 BPM, what I would ask you to do is turn down your metronome to something like about 80 beats per minute. That will make it a nice slow tempo. So when you go to record it, it can be done really easily. So I'm just going to practice one more time. Good. And then you click record. Now you noticed I would have made a mistake there, which is absolutely fine because I'm going to show you how to edit that mistake. You don't necessarily need to go back and re-record. A couple of things you can do. Either click the edit button and click edit notes, or click piano roll. Either will take you to this place here, and it shows you the notes you've recorded next to the keyboard. So what I'm going to do now, it's a bit squished. So if I pinch to zoom, I can actually make this wider. And you will see that here, if you do it to this level, which is always good, you can see each of the tougher teffes for each beat. So, bum, bum, bum. Now, this needed to be a C sharp. Currently, you can see it's lining up with E. All I need to do is grab it, pull it down. Final trick, just to make sure everything lines up. So you can see some notes aren't exactly on the beat, which is okay, because I'm going to fix that now. What you can do is select all of your notes, right-click, and then click quantize. Quantize means you're going to snap it to the grid. Okay? Our smallest grouping of notes are quavers, so we're going to put it, or as the Americans say, eighth notes. So we're going to put it as an eighth note and snap it to the eighth note grid. Here we go. Now you'll see that they're all snapped perfectly. So I'm going to play that. Have a listen. And of course, when I put it back up to tempo, here we go. Sounds perfect. So your process is to go through the piece and do it this way until you have a finished version, and you can put that on top of your melody. You need to think about where your melody fits into the piece. Does it start right at the intro, or where does it actually fit in? It's your job to figure out this jigsaw puzzle and putting it all together. So I wish you the best of luck. Please email me if you have any questions.